I think one of the most important things that was discussed was around how the government's enacting certain policies to ensure that they're ready for IR 4.0. There was something important that was discussed around housing, on how the regulatory changes in terms of policies for settlements are now looking at broader um, issues. No, it's not just simple housing, but but now based in community settlement. That's important because once you get into questions on how you build communities rather than specific localized developments, then you could have a broader picture of what needs to happen. We're now in a lot of different things because we've shifted to that everyday super app platform. We're now not just a transport, although transport still makes up a large part of our business. I'd like to think that we're at the forefront of disruption. Things like 5G, things like AI will enable our ability to continue at the pace that we're moving. For example, improving connectivity, lower latency allows our drivers better connectivity. AI helps us make our operations more efficient, especially in the customer service side of things. But there is stuff around driverless vehicles that if we don't get into, if we don't participate in, that could potentially disrupt the way we do things. We just announced that we're putting in $150 million in by way of investment into AI to improve the way we do things at Grab. So we're really bullish on how AI could help increase both efficiencies, which would result in cost savings for the company. So our group's most important strategic partner moving into IR 4.0 is the government, because it's typical for regulation to always follow innovation. And by that time, the regulations could be a bit too tight and restrictive for us to continue innovating. So it's very important for us to work with regulators upfront and let them accept technology as really part of the future. So one idea is to create sandboxes for certain initiatives. For example, for transport, create a safe sandbox where we could experiment and test out new technologies, of course with certain guardrails, no, for safety and for to protect passenger interests. But allow us to test, for example, one clear example here is carpooling. So allow us to test a service like that without imposing a lot of regulatory restrictions from the get-go. The regulations and policies could be formed as a result of the pilot. So actually what they're doing with the two-wheel sector, so the habal-habal with Angkas, is something that's already a bit ahead of its time, no? Allowing a pilot like that to happen. So it's very interesting to see what policies would come out of that pilot and how that could apply for our sector in the four-wheel market. Well, one thing that we're facing are the car caps, so and the ability to onboard vehicles. Um, Obviously, there's churn on the supply side of the platform, so drivers just lose interest and leave the platform. We're not able to refresh quickly enough. There are certain rules that the government has, which make it difficult for new car owners to enter. Now, we're not advocating that people should buy new vehicles. So if they can loosen up, for example, the age of the vehicles and allow older units, but still roadworthy, cars that would pass roadworthiness tests, and hopefully with the MVIS system, the motor vehicle inspection systems that will be in place next year, there could be a standard treatment of roadworthiness. And hopefully with that, older vehicles, people who just have that extra car or want to accept a booking on their way home to expand supply during those needed rush hour times will be allowed to ferry passengers. And in our view, that would help alleviate the travel time, the lengthy travel time that it takes for commuters today.